talk about owner-operator pay statements. We get lots and lots of email and requests for drivers wondering what kind of money do owner-operators make. And I thought the best way to address this would be to have a look at actually a few of our pay statements. So let me start from the top and we'll work our way through it, and I'll try to give as much information as I can. First of all, a few things that I should tell you without going through the entire contract. Of course, it's mileage rate. The mileage rate differs according to the lanes that the truck travels in. Shorter trips are paid more. I believe it's under 500 miles. The truck is paid more per mile. If it's pulling extra weight, the truck makes more money. So basically right now the mileage rate, also there's experience as well, driver experience. I believe it changes at 1 year, 3 years, and I think maybe 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, without referring directly to the contract. Run on a company fuel card is something that I would suggest if the company is giving you a good price on their at their pumps in their yard, and also maybe they have a deal with some of the bigger truck stops, so you might do very well. I recommend on a company card also because you're always current with your fuel. If you're charging on your Visa card or some extra credit card, if you're not keeping your payments up to date, you can get yourself into an awful lot of trouble. Okay, total earnings. This particular pay period, 2-week pay period, $7,462.28. Fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy, usually the way the company does it is they show on the pay statement, if I were to show you every page of the trip, for each leg of the trip, according to when the trip was run, there is an amount shown, and they do it actually by the mile. So after $1.24 per mile, and then the extra. So the fuel subsidy for this pay period was just about 49 cents. So the truck was making at this time $1.73 a mile. I believe the year is $5,500, and they break it up among each of the pays. $211.54, which is actually not too bad. This particular company is self-insured, so the rates are actually pretty good. License, I believe the total is $2,600 or $2,800 for the year, broken up to each pay period at $97.12. No other deductions. After the fuel, insurance, and plates, we're left with $5,823.26. You're asking me then if that is good money or not good money. Yes, that's decent money, I think, for a Canadian owner-operator. So all in all, we come out to a figure of approximately $6,200 net on the bottom line. Also in that is also included, this company pays out a safety bonus. So every month you get a little report card to say whether you were a good driver or a poorly behaved driver, based on driver scorecard results, hours of service violations, e-log corrections, miles without hours, posted speed frequency if you were speeding, overspeed percentage, etc., blah blah blah. So this particular month, Dave was a very well behaved trucker and earned 95% of his points, so he retains the full safety bonus of $350, which is added on to our net And overall, when I did the math, we're coming out to approximately $1.16 net after all is said and done for each mile driven, which is pretty good nowadays after the major operating expenses of license, insurance, and fuel. Actually, for 2 weeks work, that's not too shabby. Every pay period, of course, isn't like this. It depends how energetic Dave is feeling. It's not so much that the work isn't there, it's the fact of how many miles he cares to travel that pay period. Okay. Also, I should note that in the revenue also are included drops and pickups. In this case, Tanker Work pays $20 for a pickup. If the owner-operator uses his own equipment, his own hoses, he's paid more. We've opted out of using our own hoses because we find they are just a total maintenance nightmare, and for what you're paid for the extra just hasn't been worth it. Offloading is $40, and I believe it's $80 if you use your own equipment, and again we find that one just doesn't really justify the cost of the maintenance and the cost of the equipment to begin with. The second pay statement, a little bit different from the first one. Total earnings revenue is $6,399.94. Fuel subsidy at $1,853.70 for a net of $8253.64. Minus fuel, HST, which in Canada, I'm not sure if the Americans are aware, we get our HST back. We apply for a rebate and we do get it back on our fuel. Com data charges again, vehicle insurance and license, and we come out at the bottom with $49.74.47. So in 2 weeks, with 4,550 miles minus the major operating costs, grossed $82.53, netted $49.75, works out to approximately $1.09 a mile. So we have 6 months ago, this particular 2 weeks averaged out to $1.16 a mile, and this 2 week period averaged out to about $1.09. So we usually find anywhere from about $1.05 to $1.20 net for the most part. But again, it depends how much you're working, how much you want to work. So I wouldn't say necessarily though that it would be that times 2 for the course of a month for earnings. So that gives you an idea of a Canadian owner-operator doing a special niche, which is tanker work. Pays fairly well. That's one of the niches that for the most part pays the most. So that's a close look at just basically earnings, major operating costs, and cross-section of two pay periods, two 2-week periods. So this may be helpful if you're thinking of becoming an owner-operator and not sure what to expect. Your earnings, your mileage rate, your contract will differ from company to company, but this would give you an overview of really what you should be expecting. Just an average, it's just one company, but we do seek out the better paying companies and the better deals around. So this is a company that we've gone with. We've been there nearly 5 years doing tanker work, and it's actually worked out fairly well.